Hello, and welcome to People Talk Now. I'm your host, Vanessa Herrera, and this is the show where you ask about it and I talk about it. And I hope you guys haven't forgotten that we're trying to change the pace out there, guys, on what people call better days. Mm-hmm. And if you're listening to this, that means it's Wednesday fucking morning, and give yourself a little pat in the back or the ass or whatever makes you feel good. You made it. You're halfway through the week. So the cow alarms or the bells are going off for you. And today's topic, we'll get into that right now, but I wanted to actually welcome a very special guest today. He's been on here once before and you guys loved him. The one and only, my Esposito. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing out there? I hope everybody's waking up feeling great on Wednesday. Right? Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So yeah, I invited him on here today because I felt like there was nobody else better that could talk with me about this. Being that, you know, he actually, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but on the prior one, like, we talked about going plant. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me reiterate that. The first episode ever that I had actually broadcasted was me talking about going plant-based. So I decided that for my part 2, which is what I will be talking about today, I decided to bring him on because I thought maybe he could share his story of like what made him decide to actually go plant-based, because I know the first time I remember I talked about what made me decide, and so I kind of want you guys to hear his backstory on like why he decided, and then from there we'll talk about obviously like certain myths and things that from experience that we can actually share with you guys personally about myths that people talk about veganism and the way that we view it as a couple and individually. So yeah,
nice. That's a good opening right there. Thank you very much. Well, first let me say, you know, this woman, she changes up the topic up on me like every 5 minutes. Like I gotta write new material for everything. But I'm good. I'm okay. Now, you know, I mean, for me, I never intended to be anything labeled. Basically, I knew there was vegan. That word vegan existed many years ago. I knew of a lady who somebody referred to her as a vegan, and I think I was like 17 years old. I don't come to hear about it until like maybe about 5 years, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I guess it becomes what people would call mainstream, but I start hearing this vegan thing, and for me, I think it happened more because of a personal desire to feel a little different. If I, went out on a good weekend, I can gain anywhere from like 10 to 15 pounds.
On one weekend?
On one weekend,
wow,
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I know. But my weekends were pretty solid, They're pretty lit. I mean, I would probably order. Who wants to cook on Fridays? Who the fuck wants to cook on Fridays? Nobody wants to cook on Fridays. So Friday,
I mean, especially nowadays.
Pizza night. Yeah, Netflix and chill. Little did I realize that what I was actually doing is I was actually slowing down my body. That's why I felt sluggish all the time. And I think that's where the part from wanting a little bit more for yourself and how you can actually try and see what I mean by it is that you start gradually with certain things. I mean, let's face it, those that are finding enlightenment, they tend to be a little less angry people. They probably meditate and, they do things of such. And I just wanted to find more of a balance within myself. Giving up the junk food, really, I'm not embarrassed to say, but it came when my love for this world honestly, or because I just I just felt like I love this world. I don't know if I'm maybe just got too lost in all the propaganda, but I love this world, but I also love myself. The stuff that I love doing was killing me, literally, killing me and hurting the people around me. So one day when I was at work, like it kind of broke down. I was like, I don't know why. I asked myself, like, well, if you care about the world, what are you doing about it? Like, I legit, I was like, kind of being mean to myself, but I was like, because I felt myself, I was down, and I was battling two things, like feeling down because of what's going on in the world and how a lot of things that I perceive tend to be depressing. And then, what I'm doing for my body, meaning like eating junk food, but still going to work out. And so those two things kind of collided, the disparity of both. And I broke down at work. I closed the door and I straight up started just crying. And, I decided I was going to stop eating meat and dairy. And that was one of the big things that I felt like in my heart that I can do. It's weird. I don't know. Like I was looking for, I guess, growing up in this world, we all want to do good. Like it's in our nature to want to do good and help the entire world. We all want to change the world. For everybody, it happens different. This is the way it happened for me. I was like, I can't hurt another animal. I've already seen too much. I've digged in too much. I researched too much. There's no turning back.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask.
There's
I
no
was like,
turning back.
Like, did you see anything, or did you how did you even? How? I know you said that you knew someone when you were like 17. You heard of it,
yeah,
but
no, I didn't
what
really
did
know.
far ahead, like talking about 6-7 years ago? Like, what? Is there anything that you saw? Like, how did you even remember
you know
about?
What? I'm one of the few that propaganda really does much to me. Like if I see it one too many times, like it doesn't really do a certain trigger in my body. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
I was gonna be like, how did he even like how did that?
Again for me, it was because come on, like, can I be really personal here? Nobody's gonna judge me.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
okay, so
I'm
one of those people that procrastinates, and I feel like I have a talent, right? Everyone out there has a talent, and if you're like me, you procrastinate. You kind of get mad at yourself, especially when you have the golden opportunity, the knowledge, and everything to do it, but you don't. But I think like, okay, why do I get distracted? Why am I? There's gonna always be that time. Like you can get in there, you can do it, but it all has to do with everything that you are. In my honest opinion, it goes from what you put in your body, from what you put in your mind, for what you allow your mind to construe it and create, and everybody. Falls victim to this. That's just the way we are as humans here on Earth. So for me, that's how it happened. I gave up eating meat because I just wanted to feel something bigger than myself. It turned into like great for my health, for me and my family. And I'm not gonna tell you guys like, oh, I see it all for the animals. Like, no, I see it like, okay, maybe if it's introduced in a way where it's more for the people, then the animals will get spared in the process. You feel me? And I feel like the system, the way the whole movement, the way it's come up, it's like it's more for appearance, propaganda. We can elaborate on each one that I tailed out, but again, I'm just sharing my story. I did something that for me is bigger than me. Like I could live 1,000 years and probably not help as much as I helped by not consuming no more animal product. Like we talked. I don't know. I think we had a conversation where you were like, people love bacon and the truth is like we're the consumers. We're the consumers. But again, going back to my reasons for doing it, how I became. I'm now looking at from a lot of years ahead, and I see how the movement's going, how everything's going, and I'm like, damn, there's a kind of like a little mix up here, and we can get on the same page, I feel, you know?
Would you like to help me like bust a myth about like what people think about us eating the way that we eat, like us eating beans and rice and pretty much not consuming dairy and eggs?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to bust a myth with me right now and say that?
Tell me.
Do you feel like that you have ever been low on energy, like all these years? That at any point did you feel like you were gonna just perhaps just drop dead because you weren't consuming the dairy and eggs? Like simple.
I seriously feel better. I feel better, and you know, I'm up there in age. I'm not young anymore, so. But I can honestly tell you, like, especially you know, in certain departments, ladies and gentlemen. Not trying to get too graphic, but I heard a movie does reference the difference between stamina and in the sheets, and I think it's valid. People want to know. You know, I think yeah, I give that a thumbs up. Only my wife can see. Maybe she'll add the little sound bite. Ding.
Ding. We'll do
But again, everybody has different experiences. You know, there's probably guys that eat a lot of steak and eggs and shit. And they, you know, they're like, oh, I fucked for 6 hours, motherfucker. Yeah, you can never rule out the.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really rule anything out. Like, it's like you can't, but then you can because there's like they did tests.
Yeah, no,
but that test was like for only a certain amount of people, so I get that. It's not like every single individual in the world. They can't, you know, they don't have I don't really know if they have the resources, but that's besides the point. Yeah. It's like this. It's like when you're eating in this way, sexually, I feel like a lot of things change. Like everything's kind of like a domino effect, right? Mm-hmm. So you start eating plant-based. You know, a lot of things happen. Whether you're a man or a woman, you lose weight naturally. You don't even have to go to the gym. I'm going to just put that out there.
That's true.
You don't even have to go to the gym. You just be eating in this way. Like you're eating your beans, your rice, your vegetables, your whatever, your grains, like your nuts, your seeds, and your fruits, and a lot of different types of leafy greens. And your skin starts to clear up too. You naturally lose weight. Your skin will just start glowing. I
mean, but you know, it could be there's cases where it could not happen to certain people, you know. But I think the key to point out is that you have to be patient. You gotta.
Yeah. See, everybody wants that, like we've been saying, everybody wants the watermelon.
They don't want to get the soil and the seeds,
but they don't want to plant the seed,
plant it and grow it day by day.
And it's just crazy because everything, like I was saying right now, everything goes hand in hand. You know. Yeah, you know, I would like to like say when I watched Game Changers on Netflix, shout out to all the people that made the film. It was very like, it's crazy because even me eating plant-based all these years, it feels really nice sometimes to like go back and like watch some new film or some new information that's getting put out and like things that you didn't know before. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's for some people that are really proud to be American, it's just like fucking hearing the Star Spangled Banner and you're just like, I'm proud to be American. Well, in this situation for me, it was like watching the movie, I was just like, holy fucking shit, man, I'm so fucking proud to be eating plant-based. Like, that's kind of how it felt. I felt like that was what America meant for me. Like, that was my America. So I was like standing up, saluting. I was like, fuck yeah, to all of my my plant-based athletes out there fucking killing the game, you know? Like, and it's just crazy because you didn't like.
Hey, if that drives you, that's
like it was
you.
Just like I guess I saw it,
better.
And I was just like, wow, and just like he was saying a little bit ago, like we want to be happy, we want to be better, like we don't. Like, I don't, like, it's like at the same time, like, you don't want to be stepping or like, crushing anybody because, like, I was once there, he was once there, you know? And so, like, this whole thing is, like, for example, like, if there was, like, a single male out there and he thought about possibly, like, hey, you know what? Like, I've been hearing a lot about this and, like, maybe he was going through a similar situation. what would be some advice that you would give him, like at least 3 things that would be very helpful to him, like kind of getting that little jump start into like, all right, maybe I could do this? Or what are things that you can like say to a single young man, or even like anybody really, another man that wants to try it?
You know what? I hope I don't lose you, the listeners, and you, baby. But if a young man asks me, you know what I would do, I would tell him that he needs to be careful because he's being poisoned. That's what I would say. Our moms and our grandparents, they didn't really have the capacity. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I think in the days of the Bible, way back when, I think people lived a lot longer because there wasn't all the processed stuff and things, or just things we put in our body, things that are in the air, things that have been man-made. What are the effects of the car? But anyway, to stick to the point, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna go, whatever you're gonna go, you gotta understand that it's all stems from the mind. Like, if you put, certain things in your body, and again, I encourage everybody to just do the research on what we're talking about is meat and dairy, and just try it. Like, try not having it for a little bit and see, and you kind of feel the difference. But it's got to be about you. It's got when it's about you're tough, right? You're like, fuck this, I'm doing it. And you wake up tomorrow, who cares if it's Friday, and you go out with your friend. You're out there, you go prepared. Pack yourself some almonds. We take almonds, we take walnuts, we take a couple of things, if we go out with friends, and shit, we buy a fucking beer, fucking non-dairy beer, fucking non-meaty beer. But we do, hey, you know what, Yard House Pasadena, I'm not trying to give them a plug, but went out there not too long ago with the company, and they have a nice little vegan menu. So it's good to see that it's becoming a topic in the world. There's more we can do though, guys. Like, think about the animals, or don't. Think about your health. Again, my baby says statistics, and I say look around you, look around us. I think it also depends by the area you live, maybe the country you live. There's countries where people the obese rate is not high, sometimes it's funny, like I might have this backwards, but there's people in my job where they go to the Philippines, and when they come back thinner. Not thinner. Sorry, I just made a
thinner
word. Can we make that word of the day? Thinner? No?
Maybe I don't know if that's a word. We're going to have to look that up on Webster's
Somebody
dictionary.
look for that before she does? Before we done with the show, please.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, thinner, There's countries like that where their humidity's high and the diets are different, right? So, again, there's proof that, what would I say, scientifically, or if you want to, whatever you want to call it, there's certain things that if you don't consume, they cause certain things in your body. So that's what I mean. My young brother, I would just totally say that, you got to take care of yourself. The sugars, all that stuff. I tell you, man, I wish I would have found out that I can feel this good when I was like 17. I probably would have. Damn, I would have been in trouble. Would have gone to jail. My mom would have been vegan. But the good thing about me is I never really consumed all that much meat. Like, I never really been a meat person. Like, I was fine with just beans and rice. I was fine with like a sandwich of. Well, there you go. That's probably the only time I probably eat.
When I first met you loved eggs.
Yeah, I loved eggs. I loved
eggs.
Again, but I blame my mama. I blame my mama. No, I don't blame my mama.
I think he skipped the part where we used to like going to King Taco.
Oh, I love King Taco. who don't like King Taco? Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
What is this right now? What is this? What is it?
We're plugging. No, we have to send it to the company.
Vegan Anonymous, like
no. Well, I mean,
dirtiest, darkest secrets.
No, I think people need to hear reality. There's a lot of kind of if I would, with all due respect, there's a lot of cocky people on the internet that are like vegans, and they respond to people that don't know and would probably be good candidates to get involved in veganism, but they treat them like shit, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's like, it's just a war. It's kind of like, like if someone, try to come up and tell me, I think essentially my first reaction is to like defend myself, because if you don't, typically, like, that's just how it is when you don't feel like you know all the facts, or even if nobody ever really fucking knows everything. It's just, that's like your defense mechanism, because when you've done something all your life and it's just natural to you, and someone comes along and it's just like, but did you know? And you're just like, huh? Like, like naturally, like, we get defensive. We're like, no, this is the way I've done it, and this is the way it is.
Yeah, we do. We get defensive.
But, we don't want to, like,
totally
we don't want to get on the topic of that.
but I mean, why does this happen to us? Why do we get like this? It's because we have the beliefs, right? We bought into this, the ideas that we buy into as we're growing into life, right? Everybody has their own opinion on how life can be a better place, and how things can be done different. But the thing we need to do is we need to work together. Obviously, that's just my whole point. I went from, again, like, giving up meat and dairy because my heart was just broken, and then because I felt like I was a slacker, with my passion that I love so much. I kind of had a breakdown, and I just went like, oh man, this feels good to do this for the animal. Right? Not right now. I don't think I'll ever be able to do anything as great as that. But it took a stimulant outside of my body. Tomorrow will be the third day that I don't drink coffee, and I'm not trying to cut coffee, but again, we're talking about stimulants. We're talking about certain things that have certain things that make some of our bodies. I don't know if everybody. I know it does me, so that's why I feel better that I don't eat meat and dairy. But I don't know. I heard stories that some people suffer, but again, you didn't hear that from me. You got to try it for yourself. I just want to be completely honest with everybody. You feel me?
Yeah. So, do you feel like that was your advice for the young
God, I'm so sorry. It's such a big, vast topic for me that I love so much that, invite me for a third set.
Yeah. So, I definitely just kind of want to help you guys out. If you guys are really considering, doesn't matter, man or woman. Like, if you decide that you want to start kind of looking into it, there's things that you could do. There's things that I did, because when I first like got into this, I was just like clueless, just like anybody else. I was frustrated. I was just like, shit, how am I gonna fucking do this like by myself? Like, I was like, I cook, like, I've always known how to cook. Like, I'm a self-taught cook. I can honestly say that. Nobody taught me how to cook. I've learned everything on my own.
And a damn good one, I may say. Damn good one.
So on that note, I had to do, I feel like what anyone in this time and era could do. I went online. I started going on YouTube. I started like looking for ads.
She did.
I even went as far as signing up for Pt2. Like, there was I remember this. I still remember this day. I went online, and I was just so like, it was all so new. It was so exciting. Like, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, at first it was like frustrating, but it was exciting, because that's kind of what it has to be too. Like, if you already feel like you're going into and like you're starting this new journey and it's for you, and you want to feel good, like, health wise, and you also want to feel good in your mind and your spirit, all of that stuff, like, it drives you. It does help, but I'm here to say that, like, there is things that you could do. Like, I just told a friend yesterday that you could actually go, it's so crazy. Pt2 actually has, like, for people that are like trying to look for, like, you're barely coming into the vegan game.
Are you serious? They do? Oh my god!
Yeah, there's a
crazy.
little package that they send to you for absolutely
They
free.
send you
You don't have to. You don't have to buy anything. All you have to do is send them your email, or no, yeah, your address and your email, and they mail you a package, and it's actually really
do
helpful.
they have a triple X department that they can send to us too?
Actually, they have
with the
they
vegan
talk about
condoms.
like vegan condoms.
Oh
they
shit!
talk
check
about.
that out. I bet a lot of people
we
don't know.
actually use vegan condoms.
Of course. Okay.
And where do we get those? Shout out to Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon is taking over the
Fucking
world.
Amazon Prime,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Amazon Prime. We gotta have them fast, man. I get this 36 pack, by the way.
We go through those in about a month. There's not even 36 days. And I
think we got 3 left.
Tell you, man.
Wait, but that's what people gotta. People, you gotta come on, man.
The stamina, it ain't no joke.
Yeah, the stamina and the mental. Come on, don't be fighting. People don't want to be fighting.
Yeah, it's like it's like this. Like, I don't want to argue with anybody, but you have to ask yourself this, and I'll go back to other things that you guys can like look for. It's like if someone came to you and they offered you an opportunity, like they didn't come up to you like a complete asshole. They didn't come up to you with this judgment mentality. And this is me, you guys, Vanessa, your host here. This is me telling you guys that if someone came up to you and offered you the opportunity to be better, to feel better, wouldn't you, especially if they came at you with such a kind and loving way and said, look, man, nobody's fucking paying me for this. Like, I'm just telling you because of the way I feel. And like at the end of the day, we all have a choice. Like I always say that we all have a choice to choose what's right for us and what's wrong, you know? So I would just say, like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you give it a shot? Like, and if you found out that it just wasn't for you, which some people have, there is people that have tried and they just didn't end up liking it. They said it wasn't for them, and that's completely okay. But if you were excuse me, if you were to go just like on this little trial run and be like, wow, you know, you really, really analyze how you're feeling, you would say, holy shit, like, you know, like I actually feel something different. Because it only took me, like, I'm not gonna lie, it took me about 6 or 7 days to automatically already start feeling a difference.
That was quick.
Yeah, and
I
like,
must have had a lot of turds stuck inside of me. Sorry.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's like a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. You guys know how proud I am of pooping.
Anybody follows my wife, shame on you watching those nasty ass toilet stories.
Yeah, and like, you guys, if you're a person, I don't know why I'm clapping right now in the studio. I'm like clapping.
Yeah, she's proud of her load dropping. Is there a title for load dropping?
Load dropping.
Yeah, all right.
I can't really say that right.
Come on, man. We're over here talking about food, and we taking it there.
Okay.
No,
let's go back to the topic in hand. Sorry, guys. We see what happens when we're together.
No, man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
okay.
You do poop good, and when you eat,
yeah,
better,
obviously, if you're eating like a diet that has a lot of like vegetables and like beans and grains, you're gonna be being regular most of the time.
Yeah, it feels good to be regular, you guys. It feels good to poop. Make sure you poop in front of your girls. And
you know what's something that's so crazy? I gotta say this.
Let your guy poop in front of you, you know?
I gotta say this.
Vice versa.
I gotta say this.
Tell me.
I remember, this is one thing I do remember, and I'm pretty sure you remember. Remember back in our meat eating days, remember how much I was using Tums all the time?
Oh yeah.
And anti-acid. Remember I was always getting heartburn. My stomach was always hurting. Yeah.
You know what? If I don't miss, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't mean to take it to the nasty side one more time, but I just remember some of those after you eat like some good fucking carne asada and you bust those fucking farts. Oh my god, no, man, Lord save you. They are. Is that nasty.
Is that what was going into the atmosphere?
Yeah, you remember.
I thought it was
too.
cow farts.
Whatever. No, it's just nasty. There's a different stench too, man. When you eat a certain way, you know.
Yeah. So no, there's no joke about that. And honestly, you guys, like, there is things that you could do. There's there's these 2 apps that I can really suggest to you guys. One of the apps is called Yumly. It's really awesome. It's for free. You don't have to pay for anything. It's spelled YUMMLY. And I'm sure you can get it on iPhone or any Android device, really. And then the other one, I actually pay $1.99 a month for that one. And that one is called Food Monster. And that one's really awesome. It's like worth it because Yumly, it's kind of it does have vegan options on it. Like it shows you how to cook quick, easy meals if you're first starting out. And like what's really cool about the Yumly app is that you can actually put in what ingredients you have. And then it kind of like generates an idea, which that's really cool, you know, especially if you're like,
that's awesome.
you're first learning and you're like, damn, what do I do?
There's a lot of guys that like to cook too.
Yeah, and like that's actually really cool too for like a guy that's trying to learn how to cook a plant-based meal, and he puts what he has in his fridge, like, all right, this is what I have. That's really cool. And then the difference between that and Food Monster is that Food Monster was literally an app catered and created for people that are going to only eat plant-based, because Yumly is like, it kind of has open for vegetarian and everything. Like, so there was that, there was Pt2, there's the 2 apps that I mentioned. You can always go to the library and do your research. They have, you'd be surprised, honestly, back in the day, when I first started, I would go to the library a lot and started getting like, checking out books that had to do with like plant-based or even recipes. And I started learning more, which got me into other things like deeper healing as well, obviously. And
that's so awesome.
I mean, there's a lot of options, but I would say this: go to YouTube. You can even do research there, and online, man. There's so much information that it's crazy. We're always talking about this, me and my husband. There's just like an abundance of information out there. Just well,
sometimes way too much.
Yeah, it's just.
But just make sure you keep tabs on how you feel. That will be very, very like nice for you if you decide to kind of, again, just be very mindful of everything you put in your body, right? Everything. You'll start to feel different. You give it time. Give it some time. It takes time, okay? Give some time, you know, and then give some time. Why you gig me for, huh?
No, because you're like, you'll start to feel different. And
you start to feel real different. You know,
whoa.
You do. I mean, let's not lie. Like, I mean, shit, you do. You do. You really genuinely do. Like, everything, you know, starts kind of clearing up inside you, it feels like.
Yeah.
And then if your mind is clearing up, like, let's just say like this, guys, you have a really good relationship, right? And then you two try to like not eat, say, dairy. Okay, and you kind of minimize it down to like, let's say, just turkey. You can do turkey bacon, you do turkey, whatever, meat. And then, you know, I think if you want to look at it as a tolerance level, then your tolerance kind of starts going down. And now you want to actually not even have turkey anymore. And then you're not even having dairy. And then you start kind of like, oh man, like, damn, I dropped 20 something pounds and I feel so amazing. Like, oh damn. And then you make the decision. You make the decision if you want to go back to what you were doing, back to how you were feeling, or you don't. Yeah, that's my bitch. Damn. Right? How much more simple can it be?
It's pretty simple.
You know, take care of yourselves. Pay attention, very close attention on how you feel. Like how you feel. That's so valuable. So misunderstood though now with so many like things, like just distractions. And again, we keep talking about it. Like there's a movement going on, and sometimes it can be a pretty nasty movement on both parties. You know, but do it for yourself. Try it out for yourself.
Yeah, and if you and your partner, or maybe you're single, you guys are looking for other outlets to improve your sex drive and your stamina and your libido, whatever. I just kidding.
Libido.
Like if someone has their liquid in their mouth right now, coffee in the morning. Spit it out right now. Vanessa, what the hell?
I really wonder. I mean, there's no study showing that people that eat. I mean, I guess I could say that I feel better. In the little boy. What is it? The big man's department. The boom boom room. I think I could say that I feel better because, like, the less weight I have now, my body moves a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier for me to hold it. I don't need to be like super duper muscular to hold like the excessive weight. So being light, feeling light, yeah, you bet your damn lifesavers when you're going down and down and down and dirty like that.
The fucking's good, man. The fucking's
good.
It
just you feel
like,
there's fuck, dude.
There's no other way around it. Like, it's just like a lot of things happen. A woman has better lubrication down in her womanly parts.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Like, do they have better lubrication?
Damn. Honestly, like, if like, I just feel like I can speak from experience because
I'm so
we
sorry.
we went vegan around the same time, so we could say like the before and after. And now,
my wife, okay.
And now it's just
like
like
away some secrets.
Yeah, no, and it is completely different now.
The truth.
It's
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like we could like he could be like across the room, or I could be across the room, and then it's just like it's like a little glance of the eyes, and it's just like
again, it has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with the relationship that you have with yourself, and most important, with yourself, and also important how you have your relationships with people.
Well, yeah, but we're speaking on like what even just eating.
Well, that's the
that way. Yeah, right? Well, how it affects, because ultimately what you eat affects your everything, your mind,
you won't
everything.
Produce certain thing. You never know. Certain things, certain fats might kind of block semen passages and things like that.
Your blood circulation, obviously, for men and women, same thing. So you got to think, if you're eating things that are like producing a really good proper circulation in your body, whether you're a woman and a man, you can imagine like when it comes down to getting into the boom boom room. The boom boom room.
I mean, I started getting on that stepper and doing 4,000 steps in an hour.
Yeah, that was insane. Like,
I started doing Insanity, and man, I don't know. I honestly, guys, Insanity is a little bit too crazy for me. I kind of wake up with a couple of sore joints.
Fucking Shanti, man.
Yeah, he's
I hope
tough.
Shanti's doing
the original ones, but I finished them twice. I want to say.
And I don't know if anybody knows about Shanti, but
I got
fuck,
shredded.
man.
I love you, Sean.
We love you, Sean.
If you ever listen to this podcast, we should tag Shanti.
Yeah, I think I want to get back into fucking. Who wants to take a month with me?
Who wants to do Insanity with?
Let's do it.
My wife. Just come on, man. You gotta be accountable.
I'm looking for a challenge for this coming up holiday.
You gotta be accountable though. You gotta post a video.
Yeah, we gotta get on it. If you wanna get on a challenge with me
60
in like
days.
60 days, fuck, we'll be shredded together. We'll keep each other accountable.
God. Hey, but
then everybody gonna be fucking. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm pretty sure people are fucking now. But if you go,
I don't know.
You're gonna go 5.0.
Yeah, I hope
10.2.
I don't need to know the deeds, but if anybody ends up fucking in my show, I want y'all to tag me.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if anything, any of the advice we're giving you, like, it allows you to lose some weight, and you get in that zone. Damn, what did you say? You wanted them to send you a video?
No, I just said tag me. Tag me.
Yeah,
no, don't tag me to your video.
Damn. See, I was already.
I don't know what kind of kinky shit people doing. I mean,
shit. You got to see the proof though. You got to see the proof. What if you see some guy? He's behind some his girlfriend, and he's fucking banging her really hard, and you can see his rib cage muscles and shit of vegan power. What in that fucking?
He's like, you're right.
Yeah, right. And she's all fucking muscular too. Just looks all dope as fucking shit. Imagine like
he's Hulk smashing her ass.
Yeah. I mean, because that's exactly what happens.
No, it's seriously, we're not making this up. We're not like it's. I know it sounds funny,
but it's kind of scary because again, there might be some people that already do that, and they eat meat and dairy and all kinds of other shit. They drink beer.
I mean, I don't know.
Everybody's mechanic is different. They might quit and then they won't be able to, or they
But-
might
but
end
if
up
you- if
killing
you-
somebody and
if
go to
you're
jail.
listening, yeah, if
And
you're
you go to jail
listening
for-
to my podcast this morning and you found yourself at that stump of the road and you're like, I want to eat better. What are things that I could do? Or just even hearing my husband's story. If I hope that today,
Yeah,
like
man.
you leave
Do it,
thinking
guys.
about it, like wow, like if you in any shape or form related to that, that's awesome. I really hope that just his story or even future stories that I might have on my podcast can help. So that's ultimately like that's what I'm aiming for. It's just whatever little bits and pieces of information I can help you guys with, and like just kind of like make you like just not about opening your eyes, but just kind of help you see that, oh wow, like okay, like I can do this. Because I feel like a lot of the times just because the way things are like in this world, you kind of sometimes could feel like you can't really make a difference because there's just so much going on in this world. It's so noisy, but you can make a difference in this world if you just stick to it little by little every day, especially when it comes to your health and your well-being.
Yeah,
if you want to be
let's not forget what we're recently finding out, my love, is that the best way to do that is to take care of yourself. Do what you love. Like seriously, guys, just wake up doing what you love. Understand that if you're breathing right now, you have a pulse, couple legs and some arms.
Baby,
can see.
he's talking dirty
Hey,
to me.
I'm not trying to
always
talk
has a
dirty.
pulse.
I'm not trying to talk dirty. I'm just saying like that's already a blessing. The biggest blessing of your day. It cannot
Amen.
get any better, right? So
Yes.
just make those choices that you're gonna make all round in all your whole body, your whole mind, body, and soul, whatever your beliefs are. Do it, because you just wanna, kind of take a smooth landing into the golden age, right? We're all aging, time's a ticking.
God damn, you're aging well, baby.
And she says I'm aging like fine wine. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's going vegan. You just like.
So he's got a little twinkle in his eye.
I'm a
Can you
little
guys hear
shy
it?
because.
Can you guys hear it? Ding! He's got a little twinkle.
No, listen. I mean, I don't know if we have time, but I hope my wife doesn't get mad. But man, she looks so beautiful, like so beautiful.
Oh shucks.
Ever since you went vegan or you started eating vegan, like. I mean, she doesn't really go to the gym. She was going to school and doing very, very busy, but man, the body just doesn't lie. The body does not lie. You will get out of your body what you put into your body. And let me tell you a lot. I don't know, my baby will agree with me, but a lot of us are very malnourished. We're overeating and malnourished. That's what it is. We're overeating and malnourished. We're overeating the wrong things, and then when we supposedly eat the right things, we're being malnourished.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, it's such a mind. I'll say it's a mind fuck. Even that can get us sick. Worrying too much about your health, not knowing what choice to make. That stuff is even sickening. So again, I'm just saying, look around you, look around us. Okay, what do we see? Okay, we see people that are a little overweight. Like, oh damn, how about me? Oh, I'm a little overweight too. Okay, there's a lot of things going on in the medical industry that are just hitting people that are doing certain things. You owe it to yourself, to the family that you claim you love. And I guess ultimately it's you. I mean, just you gotta ask yourself, man, do I want to see if I can feel a little different? And do whatever changes you have to do in your life to do them. Veganism being one, you're gonna make a big difference. It feels so crazy to know that you're not putting another animal or anything that was living in that type of way, that had a heart that was similar to you, that showed similar emotions like you. Yeah, I don't want to get into specifics, but yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants to, talk more, wants us to do another show, I'm down to come for another round of this, because we open up a lot of different things, excuse me, that are vegan related. So many things,
Yeah, it's so hard to like fit everything that could be said or I want to say in one show, you know. And yeah, so it's just, you know, just keep in mind, you guys, that, you know, another thing to look out for, that I will tell you guys before I go into the word of the day and the joke of the day, because, you know, I always I like for you guys to leave this podcast with learning a new word and a little giggle, a little laugh for the shits and giggles. But I will say this, just kind of keep in mind, you guys, that although there is a trend towards veganism and it's growing every day, and I'm sure by now, like at one point or another, you've heard a friend of a friend or somebody that's like, you know, oh yeah, I know someone that's vegan or blah blah blah. But just don't fall for the whole, even though there is things that are vegan, you guys, I'm gonna give you this one helpful tip that I've picked up along the past couple years. And it's that even though that some things are vegan, you guys, oh man, I hope I don't get shunned right now by all the angry vegans out there. But like, just realize this, that there is vegan junk food just the same as there is junk food that has milk and eggs and all these things. And just be mindful that you can fall just as easily. And this is probably the best advice that I'm giving you towards the end of the podcast. Or I probably maybe should have said in the beginning, but that's not what, besides the point. It's just that you can just as easily fall into this very bad habit forming. I think essentially what some of these foods were created, and I don't mean like the junk, like like a lot of times you look at something and you're like, oh, you find out that Oreos are vegan, for example. You can very easily just fall back into this very unhealthy thing by consuming a lot of things that are processed and that have sugars and salts and sodium and all this stuff. So I'm just saying, like, if you're really, really, truly looking to really you're just sick of it and you just want to become healthier and you're like, no, that's not the route that I want to go. I don't want to go from one fucked up thing that's fucking up my body inside for another to replace it for something else just because it doesn't have animal products. Then I'm with you, and I say that, you know, there is things that you could do. You know, there is books that you can find that, or even just not even that.
Yeah, but in the beginning, obviously you gotta figure it all out. You're gonna have to learn how to cook. So a lot of those, you know, like the processed like, kind of things that don't have meat,
that are supposed to be like what is it? What is the proper term for it? It's like it's not like a meat replacement, but it's supposed to be like
what, the meatless crumbles,
things like that. Like they label it meatless so that you can it's easier for you to just be like, oh, let me try it because it has similar texture.
In the beginning, enjoy them. They're you know, enjoy them. They're a little expensive, I think. I mean, you're gonna get a big ass bag of real chicken nuggets than you will you know, a bag of, but that's not the point. The point is that, you know, you have to really, you know, just do it from your heart, right? And but there is options out there, like my wife was saying. But don't fall into that.
Yeah,
that's
don't fall into that.
Don't fall into grabbing a fucking 6-pack of Oreos, you know?
Yeah, don't fall into that. You know, I know in the beginning, like, you know, it's kind of like, it's like the gateway. Like you kind of almost need those things in a way, like if especially if you come from a background where you've eaten, like we were talking about earlier, your family, you were raised in a way where, you know, you guys are always eating like he was saying, huevos con chorizo, and like just, you know,
your Spanish is fantastic.
Oh, gracias.
Oh my God, you hear that?
I'm all rolling the tongue con mi Latino.
You see what being vegan does to
We're speaking Espanol.
A woman of
many ethnicities.
Of many ethnicities, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to say that really quick before I go into the word of the day and the joke of the day, is that you guys, you know, if do whatever it is that you need to do to transition, but also don't fall into that, because I get a lot of people like message me on Instagram and, you know, they're asking for guidance and for help, and I never mind it. But my thing is this, is that don't
What, they're over there asking for advice, and then you see their stories, and they're drinking the night away.
yeah, it's just like I'm just saying, like, just don't
like, yeah, McDonald's, yeah,
yeah, like, don't fall into that into that, you know. There is, you know, I hear, oh, that's what I was gonna say. I got a little thrown off right now. People say that it's expensive to be vegan, and I'm here to break that myth and say that it's actually not. The issue is that, like what I was saying right now with the whole vegan junk food, is that when some people first transition into being vegan, they're ultimately like buying these processed foods. It's kind of like the easiest route because you don't really know anything yet. So it is a little it's a little costly if you're buying these bags. You know, the prices rack up because they I'm gonna be honest, that some of these things are overcharged, they're overpriced because they process them easy for consumption. Because some people don't know how to.
They're really that hard to produce. Have you done the research?
There's equipment that you can buy.
But why do they sell? Because I mean, you over here making. You've made. No, have you made your own bacon?
Yeah, I've made my own bacon. I've made bacon out of like carrots. I've made bacon out of tofu. I remember that was so good. She's made her own cheese. You made your own pies, your own cookies, your own a lot of good things. Yeah, that's one thing I'm proud to say that like I learned everything. I self-taught myself. I did whatever I had to do.
She's been experimenting 2 nights in a row, and let me tell you, man, the dish she made last night, or the dish you made last night, I should say, it was so amazing. Like seriously, it had that. I don't know. She put like these little conchitas, right? And she seasons them up a certain way. She puts the squash, like little chops of squash. So when you would eat the pasta that was cooked and marinated in a certain way, you would get a little piece of squash, and it would just kind of burst in your mouth along with the pasta. Gosh,
it's making me hungry.
Yeah, it would explode in your mouth like a bomb, like a squash bomb inside a pasta shell. I'm so sorry.
What exploded in?
The big squash exploded in my mouth. The big juicy squash exploded in my mouth.
Okay, this is like
that shit came out so bad.
No, it's okay. People. I'm sure they're driving right now, listening to this, and they're just. This is good.
It's too early
this is
in the
great.
morning, man. It's too early.
It's just. So yeah, you guys. I just had to share that really quick before I leave you guys with the word of the day, and the joke of the day is that, yeah, just don't fall into that, man. Just the internet and YouTube and all these, and the library, these are all good sources for you to continue finding more information. And again, I'm always available whenever there's something that you guys don't know and you're just like, yo, Vanessa, I need some info, which I'm really happy that some of you have been reaching out to me. You know who you are, saying that you actually want to go ahead and like eat plant-based. That makes me really happy, especially doing like posting like the things that I do. I'm never in a sense trying to hurt anybody. That's never my intentions. My intention is always just this. I always say, I wish that someone would have told me this sooner. That's what I always think. I say, I wish I would have known about this so much sooner, because I'm sure that even now it's taken years to undo everything from my intestines, of like all the damage that I've done to it, from all the things that I've eaten in my past, Don't
beat yourself up.
I'm not. I shouldn't.
Don't beat yourself up. I'm sure you're fine. You're way above the transformation.
I mean, I feel great now, but so yeah.
Yeah, most people call it a mutation, but we're
mutating.
I hope you have another segment of this topic, because we should talk about mutation.
Oh yeah.
And the change in the sociological changes of our era, what's going on with us? What are we doing?
Yeah,
and
so
tie in the food that we eat. Is it the food we're eating? Is it the stuff in the air? Dun dun dun.
Oh shit, conspiracy theories.
No, we won't get it.
No, we don't want to scare people on their drive to work. I don't know. I don't know really where.
Facts.
It doesn't matter where you guys are listening to this right now. I am not trying to freak you out, okay?
No.
So, yeah.
It's all about how you feel, baby. It's how you feel. That's
exactly. It's all about how you feel, you guys. So, stay up, stay positive, and, just do your research. I'm always saying that, and I'm glad that some of you are finally starting to listen to me. It truly does make me happy. So, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you guys with the word of the day. You guys know that I love teaching you guys a new word. Every day. Not every day, but every week. I come to you guys with a fresh new word, and I really hope that some of you don't know what this word is, and if you do, well, congratulations to you.
What is it? Ejaculation?
Ejaculation. No. The word is actually respite. Is that? Hold on. Let's to make sure we're pronouncing it right. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got some technical.
Respite?
Here we go.
Respite.
So the definition of respite is a period of temporary delay. So it's kind of an interval of rest or relief. Respite. RESPITE. Word of the day. And I'll give you guys a tiny little piece of information about it. Did you know respite is the first known to have been used? Known to have been used at the turn of the 14th century to refer to a delay or extension asked for or granted for a specific reason. So as to give someone a time to deliberate on a proposal, for example. So, such as respite offered an opportunity for the kind of consideration inherent in the world's etymology.
Damn, so what somebody who was doing business with somebody, they would say, I would need a respite for
because it's kind of like you asking for like
some time.
Some more time.
So I'm gonna need a 30-day respite on this. Is that how you say it?
Good. I don't know if some of you guys can go to work today and tell your boss that you need a temporary respite.
Temporary respite just to see what's crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, basically. That's another good way of looking at it.
Definitely.
Okay. And then of course, I will leave you guys with a joke of the day.
Joke of the day.
Joke of the day. Here we go. Dun dun dun. Drum roll.
Uh-oh.
So this is called One Man's Motivation.
Uh-oh.
So the interviewer asked the candidate, he said, "What drives you?" Candidate says, "The bus mostly." And the interviewer said, what motivates you to get out of bed in the morning?" The candidate says, "Missing the bus."
Oh God!
I don't know. I will hire that guy. He seems pretty straight up. I don't know about you. Would you hire that guy?
Do you have a chance of enticing him into something that he needs to do for you and your company that he might just do very consistently?
Yeah. This sounds like
that's a good joke.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a guy we want working
the
for
bus.
us.
Yeah. See, we don't discriminate.
Yeah, we don't discriminate, man. We don't got time for that.
That was nice.
Okay, you guys. So thank you so much for listening today. Again, you can find this podcast episode. This is episode number 9. Woo woo! We've made it to number 9. And
proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you guys so much for supporting me and like all of the good stuff. You can find this on peopletalknow.com. And if you guys, want to be interviewed or be a co-host, just let me know. Drop me an email at peopletalknow@hotmail.com. Drop me a word. You can actually go to my website as well and you can subscribe. So you could do that. And don't be afraid to reach out. And thank you so much to my co-host today for my Esposito.
Thank you for having me, baby. It was a lot of fun.
Do you have anywhere where people can go and follow you?
You can find me on her Instagram if you want to ask me any questions. I'm pretty much just to let you know right now. I'm more the guy that's gonna say, "Here's my phone number. Call me at 6 p.m. and we'll kind of talk. Like I'd rather just like
old
talk.
School. I like that.
Like just talk. Like just.
Can I write you a letter?
Yeah, you can definitely write me letters. Yeah, I won't do a letter. I got another book on the way coming, and we're in the middle of one that we're reading together. So no, so yeah, if you need my help for anything, like if you have any questions, yeah, just hit me up on Instagram. Find me through my wife, Tune Mood Music, and then I'm gonna have to call you and ask you some questions, and based on the questions I ask you, I'm gonna just give it to you straight. Give you a chance to tell me about you, and you can give it to me straight. I'm just gonna say, this is what I would do if I was in your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take the information and just apply it or go challenge it and go challenge it for yourself. Do the research and then decide. But I got some good stuff, But I just don't want to be writing back and forth, writing.
Yeah. That takes a lot of time.
Yeah, times to get serious, guys, and that's not because I don't want to be just writing back and I'm such a a-hole. No, like I'm trying to get focused. You heard my interview. You heard what I said. It's with the consumption I'm doing, the starting to meditate. So I'm going in a different direction because I want to be successful in this world of music. So if you need me, holler at me. I also love to talk about audio.
All right, you guys heard it here. Tune Mood likes talking about audio. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you all have a beautiful Wednesday morning. And as always, you guys, it's been a real slice. And have a kick-ass Wednesday, you guys. Bye.